Hello, how is everyone doing today? Thank you so much for allowing me to speak with you all it's morning time here, but thank you just for the opportunity for allowing me to speak with you. It is really an honor to share my story and to share with you some practical tools to help you on your journey towards entrepreneurship. And if you had asked me 10 years ago if this would be what I would be doing, I would have told you no. And I want to tell you a little bit about where I started and how I got here. And then I want to share with you how you can prepare for your journey and just to stay resilient as you are pursuing your entrepreneurial goals. So I am from the wonderful state of Alabama. I attended Auburn University, and in my years there, I worked in athletics and was expecting to have an incredible career in athletics with a professional NFL team or something of this sort. And when I was getting prepared to graduate, I had an interview with an NFL team, and I was so excited for that opportunity, and I did not get the job. And with not getting that job, I held on to hope, thinking that something would come along, and nothing did. And months later, I found myself in a position that I would have never thought I would have been in, and that was as a car saleswoman. And it was a really sharp, drastic turn from being in the fun field of sports, but I found myself there. But if you can relate to going to a job where every single day you dread getting out of bed, you don't want to be there, that's what it was for me every single day going to that Honda dealership in Auburn, Alabama with no clients. I wasn't that great of a car salesperson, and I just knew that there was more for me. I knew that God had more for me to do on this planet than sell cars. So I remember in my cubicle one day just praying for something because, like I said, I knew that there was more that I was going to do on the planet than just sell cars and go home and sell cars again. So as I was in my cubicle praying, God gave me this idea for creating programs really to help women who were kind of like how I was in that moment, really knew that they wanted to do something, but just needed some direction and some focus. So I came up with the concept of Operation Evolve there in that cubicle, and I was really excited to start this new venture. I wrote all of my ideas down on a legal pad, and I remember that I quit that weekend. And I was so excited for this new venture. I was so excited for what God was going to do. And I shared this idea with a few people, and they looked at me and they said, Jessica, how are you going to do this? And I have other people ask, Jessica, is this really going to work out? Why don't you just get a regular job? And as people were asking me these questions, seeds of doubt and fear and insecurity started being planted within my heart. And for that reason, I put my vision on the back burner. And it took me 4 years for me to go from this idea to actually seeing it come to fruition. And in those years, I developed myself further through community service and through working. I actually did start working in athletics, and I started managing some athletic campaigns for the NCAA and NFL with Verizon Wireless. And that was exciting, but I still had this vision in the back of my mind, and I never let go of it. And in August of 2016, I officially launched my business, Operation Evolve, through my signature event, Boss Babes Brunch. And it's a networking event, it's an empowerment event for women entrepreneurs. And women entrepreneurs hold a really dear space in my heart because, like I said, I wanted to be that so desperately. I just didn't know where to start. And I started the event and it was successful. I hosted the event again and the attendance doubled. And then I hosted the event again in 2017 and the attendance tripled. And I knew that this was something that I wanted to share with women across the country and hopefully across the globe. So in 2018, I took this event across the country and I did it again in 2019. And to date, Boss Babes Brunch Tour has hosted 40 events across the city, empowering thousands of women entrepreneurs, and it's been incredible. But I really want you all to understand today is that we're all on this journey. All of us have different things that we want to accomplish. And before we start a journey, it's really important that we pack. And that's the acronym for today. I just find it easier for me to do acronyms. And I want to share with you four things that you need as you are going on your journey. Because it's always going to be, there are always going to be learning curves. There are always going to be opportunities. But as long as you pack, you'll be prepared. So the first thing I want to share with you is P, and that's for purpose. And that every single last one of you has a purpose. No one is here on accident. No one is here as a mistake. No one here is worthless. Everyone has something that they are going to offer to the world and contribute and make a huge impact. And it's really important that if you're not aware of that purpose, that you ask for it. You ask God to reveal to you what that purpose is and how you're going to execute it here on planet Earth while we have time. You know, um, I think that when I was in that cubicle at age, I think 23, 24 at the time, I had never even had this concept or never really had any discussions about purpose. I knew there were things that I was passionate about. I knew that I was talented in certain areas, but I'd never really dug into the word purpose. And I think it's so important that as early as you can that you get in touch with that God-given purpose, because that's going to be the thing that drives you on the days when it's difficult. That's going to be the thing that drives you when it seems like your back is against the wall and no support is coming in. That's going to be the thing that wakes you up every single day, even if you aren't getting deposits in your checking account, even if you aren't hitting sales goals, even if you aren't doing everything that you anticipated doing. It's the purpose that's going to drive you every single day. And I know that last year, in the midst of a global pandemic, when my tour that was actually supposed to go international last year, having to shut down events, having to shift business models, and having to really adjust to what the world was throwing at us. The purpose, if I didn't have purpose, if I was just doing it for money or doing it for popularity, I would have left it on the back burner. But because everything I do is rooted in purpose, it keeps me going. It wakes me up every single day and it gets me excited to continue to work on what it is that I'm doing. So, wherever you are, whatever you feel, or wherever you are mentally or spiritually currently, is really important for you to recognize and know that there's a purpose that God has for you. And when you decide to walk in it, incredible things start happening for you. So hold on to, and in the midst of having purpose, the next thing you want to do is move on to A, which is, it's a two-part, is attitude and action steps. I really believe it's important to have an attitude of gratitude. And I know that that might sound cliche or overdone, but it's really, really true. I think that your attitude, they tell us, and I remember hearing this when I was in elementary school and grade school, is that your attitude determines your altitude. And in this life, things are not always going to go exactly how we want them to go. But what I found is that when we can shift it from why is this happening to me to what can I learn from this situation, or how can I get better after this situation is over with, then you get to see things from a different perspective. I had to learn, even being on the road, being an entrepreneur, that things are not always going to be exactly how we write it out, exactly how we envision it. We have to be able to see things and adjust and pivot. But if our attitude is always negative, if our attitude is always um, depressive and things, we're always wondering why things are happening and always upset if we don't get things done right the first time, then it's going to shift how we can move forward. So I always say, have a positive attitude, because things are always working out for your good. There's a scripture, Romans 8:28, and I hold on to that all the time. All things are working together for good. And it's really important that you hold on to that during your entrepreneurial journey, because it does get tough. But if you recognize that everything is a learning lesson and every day is an opportunity for you to get better, then you will be able to have a fresher perspective, and a positive attitude definitely can change things for you. In conjunction with that attitude, I always say take action steps. Just like you're in this program right now, learning and seeing how you can develop into a better leader, into a better entrepreneur, there are always things that you can do to help put yourself in a better situation. There's opportunities around you, opportunities to connect. But one thing, as an entrepreneur, and especially as a newer entrepreneur, it can be scary to make some of those initial moves. So, my encouragement for you to do is to not figure out how to get every single thing perfect today. You don't have to do that, but figure out what's the next thing that you can do. One thing I wrote was you don't have to know every single step of the journey. You just have to take the next step. So, what's the next thing that you can do to help put yourself in a better position? Is it being a part of programs like this? Is it reading some new material? Is it connecting with someone who has a little bit more experience than you? So figure out ways that you can be active in what it is that you want to do. And that way you can move forward with a lot more confidence. Which moves me on to the next part of the acronym C, which is confidence. I know that for me, when I first started out, because there's no one in my family who's an entrepreneur. My mother, she stayed at home and raised us. I have four sisters. And my father, he went and he worked. But no one in my family none of my family members, aunts, uncles, cousins, none of them were entrepreneurs. So there wasn't anyone in my network to help me along the journey, if you will. And as I stated earlier, when I decided to leave my first job, I had the passion for the idea, but I just didn't have the confidence to execute. And if I could go back in time, I would definitely, I would definitely just, I'd go back to that step of just taking one step at a time. But I would recognize that if I have a purpose, God has a plan for it. So it's up to me to just move forward confidently, knowing what I'm called to do and to be okay with walking in that. So be confident in what you have right now. You don't have to know everything. You don't have to be perfect to be confident. You don't have to have a whole bunch of money in the bank to be confident. You just need to know that you are a purpose-filled individual and that you have what it takes to move forward. So be confident in what you currently have. And if you can do that, everything will grow. Um, if you don't mind, I'm going to share one of my favorite parables out of scripture is the parable of the talents. And I always think about that when it comes to entrepreneurs, how there were three servants with three different levels of talent according to their own ability. And the first servant had 5 talents. He went out and invested what he had, and he came back with double. And the other servant had 2 talents. He went out and invested what he had, and he came back with double. And then that final servant who only had 1 talent, he said that he was afraid of, what would happen if he lost it. So instead of investing it, he hid it. And when it came back for the master to come back and collect those talents, the 2 servants who invested what they had, he said, well done. But the one who didn't do anything with what was given to them, it got taken from him and given to the one who came back with 10. And when I think about that, I just think about how many of us hide what we have and don't invest what we have well because we're afraid that we're going to lose it. And I just don't want you to be afraid of what God is giving you. And if that one servant had gone out and invested in the same way that the other servants had, he would have come back with double. And if he had repeated the process, he would have come back with double again. And that's how I see that parable, and that's how I see it, and it's how it relates to entrepreneurship. And so many of us hide what we have and we don't invest it well, and it ends up getting taken from us, or we see someone else walking in that. And I really know that we're in a time of abundant opportunities, and it's really important for us to take what we have, even if we see it as little, and invest it, and we'll see that God will bless it. So be confident in what you have and be consistent in what you have. Consistency is doing things over and over again. And sometimes we're consistent and we don't see results immediately. But if we continue to go back, and go back again, we'll see those results. And the last part of this acronym, PACK for the journey, is K, which is kindness. And I think that we just need a lot more of that in this world today. We see how things are going on across the globe. And I really think that compassion and kindness is going to be what leads the way for the future. And it's really important that as we are out there and as we have our ambitions for our businesses and for our families and for our communities, it's important that we look at our brother and we look at our sister and we continue to extend kindness and empathy, knowing that that's going to be returned to us. So that's what I wanted to share with you all today on my Founders Talk. I've been able to implement this PACK acronym into my journey, and I've seen it bless me. I've seen this talk bless others. And I hope that it's blessed you today. And I hope that as you go out and you make an impact in your own life, in your community, and then for your family, that you remember these things, that you have a purpose. Remember that your attitude determines your altitude. So have a positive attitude and take action steps every single day when it comes to growing your business. Be consistent in what you do. Be confident in who you are and be kind to those around you. So thank you all so much for giving me this opportunity to speak with you all today. I want to wish you all the best. If there are any questions, I definitely would love to answer them. But more than anything, thank you all so much for your time on this wonderful day. And I am praying for you and rooting for you and here if there's anything that I can help you with.
Adam, are you there?
Yeah, but Jim, do you guys have questions?
Yes. Yes, we do.
Okay.
Okay, hello. Hello.
Hi.
Oh,
Yes. Hello. Am I able to get you? Yes. My name is Eric Shambez. I'm from Zambia, Lusaka. Yes. Actually, I'm really happy to talk to you just through social networks. And then we are here about the financial activities. Then we are happy about that because it's really helping us. Each and every person, they need help for the financial activities. Yes. And then I want to encourage one or two things about financial activities. I heard about my sister, what she said is attitude and action. In each and every business, we need to do like action and you have that attitude. Yes. And then we need to be focused, everything what you are doing, because once you have that opportunity, we need to go to put more knowledge so that we can help one or two things. We can help our brothers. I said, so in a financial activities, it's very important to have a vision in our next generation. Yes, and then we are really happy to come up with this team. Actually, we are supported. And then we are very grateful. Thank you for you people for starting helping us. We are very happy actually. Yes. And then the thing which I was trying to say is in terms of pandemic things, in terms of economic, it has gone down. Many people are suffering. There's some lockdown. There's nowhere to go just because of the pandemic. But just because we have this great opportunity to enter in this team, we are very happy. And then you are very getting motivated so that you can reach to another level. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Jim, is there anyone else?
Yes.
Hi. Hello.
Hello?
Hello. I'm Dedita Mwambu from Zambia, Lusaka. I'm very much impressed with this program and with what my sister was saying. She said that when you're going into business, you have to be confident with who you are and you have to go with a positive mind. I'm happy I'm learning because previously we just used to do business like from hand to mouth, whatever you get, you spend all of it. But with this program, I'm very much happy. And I know that we are learning many things about entrepreneurship. That is all that I can say.
Thank you.
Hey, oh, Tim, we might want to ask them also what type of business they have and if they have want to share any of their challenges with Jessica.
Hello. Hello. I'm Annette Granda, staying in Lusaka, Zambia. I'm doing a restaurant here in Chawama. Yeah, but in my business, I have to be confident because there are some challenges that we face. Sometimes you get sick. Sometimes the people you work with, they sick. So challenges like that, you really have to go positive with them. Being a Zambian, I know there's this coronavirus pandemic that has hit the whole world. So doing business is not a simple thing. It's a serious thing that someone should go with positive mind. With such challenges, we thank P.A.C.K Zambia for helping poor people like us so that at least we go from a small level, at least we boost to that level. I really thank you in advance for what you are doing to us. Thank you. Okay, sir. In my business, I've gone down. So I'd like to ask you something. What can I do for me to boost my business?
Sorry, there's a lot of feedback. Would you be able to repeat your question?
Come again. I said my business has gone down because of the pandemic, that the thing we are facing the whole world. What can I do for me to go up with that?
I'm so sorry, but I cannot hear. Would you mind? There's some feedback with the microphone.
Asking is she's saying that her business has come down in terms of traffic wise. Is there any advice you would have for her how she would grow her business back to the way it used to be in the past?
What is her business?
You have a restaurant?
I'm sorry?
Restaurant?
Oh. Are there restrictions as to like where people can go right now? I know here, well, are there restrictions as to like people being able to go out?
No, not really. We only have restrictions maybe for night clubs have been opened as well, so the restrictions are not much. But I think it's just that from the time the pandemic started, there's just been a low traffic. I think for most people have been complaining about the same thing. So like for her, I should just wanted to find out what advice you'd have for her, like in times like this, on how she can grow the business up to the maybe the previous levels.
Okay. I do not have that much experience with restaurants, but I will say that if there are any opportunities for you to connect with any other entrepreneurs who are doing things, I think that would be a good suggestion. Also, if people aren't coming to the restaurant, maybe there's an opportunity for provide some meals that people can take home and serve their families if they're not comfortable coming out like they used to. I just think those might be two good suggestions. I definitely, if there's anyone else from the team who has anything they would like to chime in, but maybe just finding some ways to get the food instead of having them come to the restaurant. Maybe you can find ways to go to the people if they're not coming.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Next, please. Madam. Good on. Jessica, my team is very shy today. I think my team is very shy. We started the boot camp yesterday. The majority of the people, yeah, we started the boot camp yesterday. So this was more like day one. Yesterday we did a lot of registrations, so they're a bit shy. So I'm sure maybe tomorrow we might be able to. Yeah, maybe they might be a bit relaxed, but they're quite shy today.
Yeah, I have a question. Can you tell us some of the types of businesses that they have? Just some examples of some of the other businesses that they have?
So in this group, we have people who are doing fish. This is both dry fish, fresh fish. We've got tailors. We also have people who are doing mobile money. We also have people selling second-hand clothes. Oh yeah, plus we also have people who are selling chickens and charcoal.
Okay, that's helpful. Thank you.
So maybe Jessica, maybe to just be a general advice on how maybe people can try and push up numbers. You know, of late, majority of the business have issues with traffic in terms of growth. So maybe just a insight on how people can, so many of the people that are here are all trading from here, from the market. So you find that most entrepreneurs are having similar challenges in terms of traffic to their stores. Yeah, so maybe just a bit of advice on how people can grow their traffic to their stores. I think that would be very, very helpful.
Okay, so I'm assuming that everyone is either working at a storefront or I have a
Yes,
question.
so the arrangement is majority of our entrepreneurs. We're at a place called Chawama Market. So some have stores, then some trade from what we call them more like they're just tables outside the market. That's the way our arrangement is. And then some people also trade from their homes, but within the same market area.
Okay, so is a big part of, and it's just a question, is a big part of why traffic is slow is because just economics have been down, or people just aren't purchasing like they used to? Is it is it a consistent problem across the board?
I think the reality is the cost of living has gone up due to a number of factors. The exchange rates in terms of kwacha to dollar has gone up, so most of things have gone up. Some people have lost employment from the time the pandemic started, and most businesses actually struggling because of the same thing. So it's due to income And again, I mean, it's just income because people are not trading as they used to be, as it used to be in the past. And then some people have lost employment, I think.
Yeah.
And again, on top of that, in terms of commodities, prices have gone really, really up. So there's also that issue that comes up.
Okay. I think when considering all of those factors, I personally think like when it comes to growing numbers and when I've worked with other clients, I think a lot of it comes down to one, for me, I think about collaborations and finding ways to work or trade with other people to keep costs down or to package things together where you can sell certain items together and like any type of bundle to push it out into the market. And other ways of just looking at other ways in which your product or service can be used and marketing it that way. I hope that answered the question, but I really would just look for collaborative opportunities at this point. If it seems like the general issue is kind of across the board. And maybe, I mean, I'm not sure if they're at the point where it's looking to take it outside of the community, but when that opportunity arises, I would look for ways to potentially export if that's an industry that they're in, just finding additional people who would be interested in the products or services.
Yeah, good insights. Just that most of our entrepreneurs are micro entrepreneurs, so we are trading from the same area. I know it's very good insights.
Okay.
Jim, how many entrepreneurs are there today?
The bootcamp for May is max is 25, but we have I think about 27 right now. But the maximum for May is 25.
Okay. But 27 there today. Wow. That is something. Jessica, any other questions or thoughts you have to share?
I just want to wish everyone good luck in this cohort of the boot camp, and I'm looking forward to learning a lot more about your journey. And I will say entrepreneurship is a journey and it has its highs and its lows, and just to stick in there and hopefully there's an opportunity to work and get a little bit more information about the different businesses that are here. And I hope that within the next few weeks, I can offer a little bit more insight and continue to support everyone who's a part of this program. But thank you so much. I really am opportunity to share with you all today. So thank you.
Hey, Jessica, can I ask you a quick question? My name's Reed. I live in Birmingham, Alabama.
Okay.
And one of my 4 daughters goes to Auburn a lot. She has friends that she went to high school with that are there. Do you have a website where maybe she could possibly hook up with you? Because she's considering entrepreneurship also.
Okay.
Is there a website or a way she can get in touch with you?
Sure. My website is operationevolve.com.
Operation Evolve.
EVOLVE.
Okay.
And if she's on Instagram, she can connect with me, Jessica C. Alexander.
Okay. And by the way, you sound like you've read Zig Ziglar.
You know what? I have not. I'm the business and leadership and inspirational books I read a lot of John Maxwell. I haven't read any of the but
He has a book called Better Than Good.
oh,
Let's be sure
I'm
this
reading it
is
now.
helpful to those there.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll,
His bestseller is called See You at the Top, which is also a great book. And also if you could read some of Dale Carnegie's stuff. I know, Don, you being old like me, you've probably read it too.
I have, but I want to be sure, Tim, is this information that's helpful to the group?
Yes, it is. It is
good.
very helpful.
Just want to be sure.
Remember, we want to migrate our entrepreneurs from micro to at least to SME. So every information is very, very important. There are certain things which are applicable directly, and certain things will definitely be applicable at a certain stage. But it's very, very important information, very insightful.
Okay.
Great.
Well, should we pose up for a picture now, Jim? Is that next
Yes.
step?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Sure. Let's just do that. Momento para aparecer. Momento para aparecer.
Yeah, really appreciate the insights, Jessica. I know I was taking notes. So much good stuff there, and we will follow up with you. I appreciate that offer. Because they need it, you know, such good insight.
Yeah, Jessica, it was wonderful information. So
Very good. Very good.
Well, I'll let you pose for the group photo with the folks. But again, thank you. Why don't we? I know April's on. I'll just do the countdown here.
Sure.
Such beautiful smiles, everyone.
the wave in the back.
Such a great group. Oh wow! All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, good one. 1, 2, 3. Oh, amazing.
Got it.
This is great. I think we got it. Thanks, April, for doing that. And again, Jessica, thank you on behalf of everyone. Chim, I think you can echo that of just, you know, the fact that we're learning and growing together. And I'm going to work with Chim and make sure that we get some more details. We're going to get a little bit more about their businesses. And, you know, that way you can speak a little more truth. But I think this was perfect for the boot camp. You know, mostly they just want to hear inspiration. And I know they probably have left today with that. So thanks again. And to all the entrepreneurs there, keep going strong with the boot camp. We'll see you. I think we're going to do a graduation, not this week, but next week. I know you've got other speakers, and so keep coming every day, keep learning, keep growing, and we'll talk to you soon.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.